And in the book, we discussed about the cell and the book, and now we are discussing about qualities of literature. So, in qualities of literature, we have few headings. Artistic. The literature is artistic, and the next one is suggestive. Literature is always suggestive. It suggests some special meaning. Our literature is not always simple. The next meaning is permanent. Literature is permanent. Something that is written becomes permanent. Thereafter, we have tests of literature. We will discuss it further. Tests of literature, in which we have topic universality. Literature is universal. And the style. Next, we will discuss the object in studying literature. What are the objects in studying literature? And the last one is importance of literature. We will read the complete topics and try to understand, and we will try to understand the important ones. So now we were discussing the qualities of literature. So a history or a work of science may be and sometimes is literature, but only as we forget the subject matter and the presentation of facts in the simple beauty of its expression. And the poetic line which I discussed earlier, that was taken from the Bard of Dąbrowicza. Dąbrowicza, first series, page number 73. Next, the quality of literature is suggestive. The second quality of literature is its suggestiveness. Listen carefully. The second quality of literature is its suggestiveness. Literature is always suggestive. Its appeal to our emotions and imagination rather than to our intellect. It is not so much what it says as what it awakens in us that constitutes its charm. When Milton makes Satan say, myself am hell, he does not state any fact. But here the meaning is suggestive. Myself am hell means I myself is hell. He does not state any fact, but rather opens up in these three tremendous words. There are only three words that is used here, and the meaning is completely suggestive. It is not openly said, but the meaning is suggestive. Rather opens up in these tremendous words a whole world of speculation and imagination. When Faustus in the presence of Helen asks, was this the face that launched 1,000 ships? Was this the face? क्या ये वही face था? Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships? जिसने हजारों शिप को लॉन्च किया? He does not state a fact or accept an answer. तो इस लाइन से ना तो वो फैक्ट बताना चाह रहा है और ना ही एग्जैक्ट आंसर दे रहा है. लाइन क्या है? Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships? He does not state a fact or expect an answer. ना तो ये कोई फैक्ट बता रहा है, ना ही आंसर की उम्मीद करता है. He opens a door through which our imagination enters a new world. He opens a door through which our imagination, हमारी जो कल्पना है, enters a new world, एक नए दुनिया में प्रवेश करती है. A world of music, love, beauty, heroism. The whole splendid work of Greek literature, such magic is in words. When Shakespeare describes the young Byron as speaking, there are two poetic lines, in such apt and gracious words that aged ears play truant at his tales. He has unconsciously given not only an excellent description of himself, but the measure of all literature, which makes us play truant with the present world and run away to live a while in the pleasant realm of fancy. The province of all art is not causing each reader to build in his own soul that lordly pleasure house of which Tennyson dreamed in his palace of art, is it worthy of its name. And now the next quality of literature is its permanence, that is permanent. The third characteristic of literature arising directly from the other two is its permanence. The third characteristic of literature arising directly from the other two is its permanence. The world does not live by bread alone. The world does not live by bread alone. Notwithstanding its hurry and bustle and apparent absorption in material things, it does not willingly let any beautiful thing perish. This is even more true of its song that is that of its painting and sculpture, though permanence is a quality we should hardly accept in the present deluge of books and magazines pouring day and night from our presses in the name of literature. But this problem of too many books is not modern as we suppose. It has been a problem ever since Caxton, Caxton, Caxton brought the first printing press from Flanders. Listen the line again. Caxton brought the first printing press from Flanders. Caxton ने जो पहला printing press है वो फ्लैंडर्स से लाया. Caxton brought the first printing press from Flanders 400 years ago. आज से 400 साल पहले. 400 years ago, and in the shadow of Westminster Abbey opened his little shop and advertised his wares as good and cheap. Even earlier, 1,000 years before Caxton and his printing press, the busy scholars of the Great Library of Alexandria, listen the term, Great Library of Alexandria, found that the number of parchment was much too great for them to handle. And now, when we print more in a week than all the Alexandrian scholars could copy in a century. Listen again. When we print more in a week, week than all the Alexandrian scholars could copy in a century, it would seem impossible that any production could be permanent, that any song or story could live to give delight in future ages. But literature is like a river in flood. Listen the line. Literature is like a river in flood. Literature is like a river in flood, which gradually purifies itself in two ways. जो अपने आप को दो तरीके से purify करती है. The mud settles to the bottom. जो mud है वो bottom में settle हो जाता है. And the scum rises to the top. और जो उसकी झाग है वो top पर जमा हो जाता है. When we examine the writing that by common consent constitute our literature, the clear stream purified of its dross, we find at least two more qualities which we call the test of literature and which determine its permanence. हमने बात किया अभी क्वालिटी ऑफ लिटरेचर की, जिसमें कि पहला क्वालिटी है आर्टिस्टिक, द सेकंड क्वालिटी इज सजेस्टिव, थर्ड इज परमानेंट. सो we read the first quality, that is artistic. The first significant thing is the essentially artistic quality of all literature. Artistic quality of all literature. All art is the expression of life. All art is the expression of life, means art is the expression of life in forms of truth and beauty. Rather, it is the reflection of some truth and beauty which are in the world but which remains unnoticed until brought to our attention by some sensitive human soul, just as the delicate curves of the cell reflect sound and harmonies to faint to the otherwise noticed. Now we will discuss about test of literature. And in the test of literature, we will discuss universality and style. So let us read together. The first of these is universality. The first of these is universality, that is, the appeal to the widest human interest and the simplest human emotions. Though we speak of national and race literatures, though we speak of national and speak race literatures like the Greek or Teutonic, when we will discuss language, we will discuss Teutonic like the Greek or Teutonic, and though each has certain superficial marks arising out of the peculiarities of its own people, it is nevertheless true that good literature knows no nationality. It is nevertheless true that good literature knows no nationality, nor any bounds save those of humanity. It is occupied chiefly with elementary passions and emotions, love and hate, joy and sorrow, fear and faith, which are an essential part of our human nature. And the more it reflects these emotions, the more surely does it awakens a response in men of every race. Every father must respond to the parable of the prodigal son. Wherever men are heroic, they will acknowledge the mastery of Homer. Wherever a man thinks on the strange phenomenon of evil in the world, he will find his own thoughts in the book of Job. So, here, book of Job, which we have to study later, book of Job. In whatever place men love their children, their hearts must be stirred by the tragic sorrow of Oedipus and King Lear. All these are but shining examples of the law that only as a book or a little song appeals to universal human interest does it become permanent. Next, we will discuss about style.